Hi, I'm Rhonda Buss, and today I'm going to walk you through making this fun little sewing caddy. As you can see, there's all these wonderful little pockets for stowing everything. I no more than got mine made that I stuffed it full of things and began using it. I really love it. And on the back side, it has pockets as well. It's just really a great little item to have alongside your sewing machine, so that when you need your seam ripper, which we need a lot, or at least I do, or my turner, or my little scissors, pen, ruler, whatever, it's all nice and handy and not spread out all over the place like mine typically are. So I recently taught a class, and one of the gals in the class, she had this sitting beside her sewing machine, and I thought it was just fabulous. And I think everybody should have one. So I'll just walk you through it. Really simple to make. It took me just a little bit to figure it out initially, but once I had it figured out, it was boom, 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 and quick and easy to do. So a great present for yourself and a great present to give to all your sewing friends, or just tell them to watch the video and make their own. So you want an acrylic stand like this. You can see that it has the little angle to it. It's just a, you could put a picture or document, whatever, in it. And this is a 5x7 frame. I ordered mine. You could get them, I'm sure, at the office supply store, maybe even, I don't know, well, not a hardware store, but you can definitely order them online. So it's just an acrylic frame. And I will have some links in the blog post as to where I found mine, but 5x7, I really don't think you want to go any larger than that, because if you're like me, I tend to load things up and then it'll get kind of heavy. So 5x7, it'll hold most everything that you need right alongside your sewing machine, so it should be good. So when I did mine, I'll just move this back out of the way a little bit. You first want to cut a rectangular piece of fabric. This is 6.5 by 15. So a 6.5 by 15 inch rectangle, that'll be plenty to, because when you fold it, when you stitch it and fold it over, you need to have a little bit of ease to get it on, to slide it on, but then you don't want it to be too loose, but just a little bit of ease. So I cut my rectangle, like I said, 6.5 by 15 inches long. And then if you can see on the back side, I actually quilted it. I just used a thin layer of wool batting on the back side and just quilted it. And if you were to look closely at my quilting, you'd see that it's far from perfect. But the gal that was in my class, hers had been quilted, and I really liked the way it looked, and I thought it added a nice dimension to it, gave it just kind of the right amount of padding that it should have to go over the frame without it, so that it's just not too flimsy. So once I had it cut and I did the quilting, then I cut my little square, or my little rectangles for the bottom. It's my kind of project, it's all rectangles. So the first one that I cut was 15 inches wide, or excuse me, 6.5 inches wide by 6 inches wide, and you can see here that it's double. Now I didn't finish off the edge of this one, and you'll see why in just a minute. And then I cut two more. These are this one was also 6 inches wide. It doesn't really need to be. And if you'll notice, it doesn't go to the end. And the reason I didn't is I didn't want too much bulk here at the bottom. And it's not like anything is going to get caught in there once you have it sewn down. So if you'd like, you can actually serge the edge of this rectangle and the edge of the top rectangle. So this one's a little bit narrower just because it was all the fabric that I had. This one I think was a total of, I know, it was a total of 5 inches, so 2.5 inches folded, and this one was the same as this rectangle, so 6 inches wide. So you just want to line them up so that there's about an inch, maybe an inch and a, sorry about that, inch and a quarter showing at the top, and get it nice and straight. And then lay it on your, at the bottom of your rectangle. And then what I did is I just basted it on the sides just to hold it in place. And then you want to find the center. You'll see here there is a stitching line right down the center. So while it's still open, stitch it right down the center so that you get 6 pockets instead of 3 pockets. And then on this side, I did one more rectangle, and this one I cut 11 inches wide, and again, you know, it's folded, so it's double. So 11 inches wide by 6, or 11 inches long by 6.5 inches wide. The same width as my rectangle, and I placed it on here, and again, I did the basting stitch. Now the back side is your decision. On mine, I decided to go ahead and put 2 long pockets because I use my 2-inch ruler quite a bit. Excuse me. And so I thought that would make a nice place to stick my ruler and maybe whatever else I might want to put there. The gal who took my class, she actually stored her iPhone in the back, or her cell phone in the back. So for that, you'd need to leave that open because it's a little bit wider than what just these little pockets would be. So once you have that done, put that aside. So now you can see I have basted it, have a nice big pocket in the back, and on this side I have my pockets all lined up, stitched down the middle, basted on the sides. And then on the bottom, I just serged across the bottom just to finish it off on both sides. And then all you're going to do is fold this in half and then turn up the ends like that, and then stitch right along the edge with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So here you can see I've done that. I turned up my edge, it's serged across the bottom. Finished enough, because think about it, once you get this together, no one's going to be looking on the inside of this, and it's not like this is something that you're going to be taking on and off very often. So a serged edge is plenty to finish it off. So my 1/4 inch seam on the side, I clipped it in the corners. Then you just turn it to the right side. And it's all ready to slip onto your frame, and you know, this is what you get. So it's just that easy. So again, the measurements are 6.5 by 15. You want to cut this first little rectangle 6.5 by 6 and then fold it in half. And then these can be smaller, they can be the same size, but or just a smidge smaller. But if you cut each of these 6 inches wide, then you'll be good. But here you want this about 1.25 inches above the first one. And like I said, I didn't finish it off, but it doesn't matter because nothing is going to grab at the edge of that fabric on the inside. Then you have your nice big pocket on the back, and that's it. So I hope you make a lot of them. It's a nice little bazaar item. You know, this is even depending on the fabric that you use. I had this cute little fabric. It had been given to me, I think it's a Lois Hines fabric design, but so it has all the thread and scissors and pin cushions, and so it's just kind of fun and appropriate for a sewing room. But you know, this would be a nice little item for someone beside their desk, you know, especially if you leave it for their cell phone in the back, or you know, whatever pens and whatever things that they might need. So there's lots of different possibilities. So like I said, I hope you make a lot and have a good time making them. I hope that you'll follow me on YouTube. Be great to have you if you've enjoyed this video. So until next time, keep sewing.